Hi Taurus, welcome to your weekly Sidereal forecast for June 22nd through the 28th. My name is Athen. So we've got more of this new moon energy from your first house. Well, this whole lunar cycle energy as the week unfolds will be going from the crescent phase into the gibbous phase, bringing out that energy. And this is, of course, a very energetic new moon conjuncting up to Mars from that first house of yours. So I think a lot of you are going to continue with your goals, your ambitions, the things that are important to you. This week, which is very important, a lot of active energy. I think active energy is good for you, Taurans. And as the week unfolds, more and more of this, I think that self-oriented perspective is very good. Just being, remembering to balance that with, of course, this relationship stuff, which hopefully you are taking seriously and in a disciplined sense, which is the Saturn in the 7th. But still, it's the time for you. Happy birthday for all of you Taurans who've recently had your birthday there. But more new beginnings relating to the self. This is always a very important time of the year. And about 6 months from now as well, you'll be noticing a lot of the energy you put into these goals and things will come to a culmination point when you have the full moon in that first house of yours. So still very much activated this week, but we do have some changes of houses with Mars. Chiron's going retrograde. We've got this very nice trine still going on all week, going exact on Monday, actually, involving Uranus in your 11th house and Jupiter in your 3rd. So here Uranus has been hopefully helping you free up a lot of this energy relating to the groups or community-related things, or the satisfaction you get from your work, or the income you get from your work as well. So whatever that's been for you, that energy that's been freeing you up is going to continue to support you with any of this communication, learning, day-to-day stuff that is involved with this trine. So here the 3rd house is about learning, communicating, exchanging, especially with our peers. Siblings is also seen from the 3rd house. So all these things, as they have been last week, will continue to be very supportive this week and next week. And as the week unfolds, Venus will be conjoining up to that Jupiter in the 3rd house, further emphasizing that. And this is, of course, your ruler. So I think all in all, you Taurans now perhaps are very optimistic about how things are unfolding for you, specifically in the communication and exchanging side of things, or more practical side of things. But as the week unfolds, when this conjunction gets closer, and especially next week, I think that optimism and opportunities in general for all of you to expand your horizons will certainly be activated. And Jupiter does naturally rule that 11th house of yours too, so I think you can be definitely enjoying these 11th house matters, which of course are the groups, friends, community, everything on that level as well. So that's pretty much the general energy for the week. Like I said, that aspect's going to go exact on Monday. And around Monday and Tuesday, we've got Mars changing signs. So here, Mars leaves your first house, even though it's still, this whole cycle is definitely about those first house matters. Now things are definitely going to get more energized about your assets, about your financial enjoyments of life, your material values, things like this, just generally your values in general. So here Mars is activating that part of your chart, really helping you put more energy into this area. So if you've been thinking about really taking the finances seriously, if you've been thinking about really moving towards any of your values that are really important to you, this is going to be the next at least month in particular with the Sun and Mars here in this 2nd house of yours. So focusing on that, putting energy into the 2nd house matters, really asking yourself what it is you value about your relationships as well. Mars ruling your 2nd house, thinking about perhaps what you value about spirituality and alone time and things like this, with Mars ruling your 12th. And continuing to put energy into that. But you'll notice that shift where I think it'll be from a lot of the goals to more of the perhaps financial or material side of things this early part of the week. Now around Tuesday, we've got Mercury squaring up to Neptune. And this is now the 3rd aspect between these two planets, because Mercury went retrograde over this position recently. So the 3rd and final aspect is always a time of final integration and understanding. And here it's got to do with going with the flow and trusting and surrendering with everything relating to your career and work. And Chiron is also going retrograde this week around Wednesday, emphasizing that there is an internal process. Neptune went retrograde here. So there's healing now in the internal state relating to the 10th house. But it's very important that you trust, let go, surrender with all these things. And through that, it will be constructively supporting these practical things or day-to-day things that you're involved with the goals and stuff still, or thinking about. And it's very important with this kind of aspect, with whatever it is you're thinking about, relating to your goals, where you're headed and things like this, that you have that trusting, you're letting go, you're flowing with the process, because in that way, that's when Neptune really has its most beneficial effects. Instead of us, going against the grain, we're in flow with it, in flow with the river. So not having to have it all figured out, trusting, letting go, and that in turn will be definitely supporting your first house of these goals and 10th house of your career and things like that. Also, Mercury does rule that second house, so learning to trust and let go with the financial material side of things, as well as your self-expression, will be important this early part of the week. Now, over the weekend, we've got the sun squaring up to the north node. So here, constructive energy towards your life path, which this whole year is about your self-expression, creativity, fun, joy, things on that level, which is the north node transiting the 5th house. So I think a good weekend for constructively working towards your enjoyment, and working towards your self-expression. Things like this, anything else that's creative, or the things that you create in life, or the things you enjoy, the things that put a smile on your face. So that energy there, working at it, I think over the weekend will be very constructive. I think there can be some good energy to put into your life path relating to your self-expression, particularly this weekend. Now, also over the weekend, that Venus gets very close to Jupiter, which means she's then going to be trining up to Uranus. So I think a very nice weekend again for all these 11th house matters groups, friends, enjoyment of work, and the communicative elements of things, the day-to-day exchanges, socializing, communicating, learning, reading a book, writing, even all these things that I think you've had the opportunity to do for almost the past year with Jupiter here. Now another time when you have some very nice aspects going up to that 3rd house for you. So Taurus, I hope you guys have a nice week. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you're new to this form of astrology, do check out masteringthezodiac.com. Also, if you'd like a personal session, I'm now offering birth chart readings at a discounted price, so do check those out. And I will talk to you all next time. Take care.